with Gypsyfae Creations. Thanks for tuning in. Today's soap is inspired by my home state of Maryland. For those of you who don't know, I am from Baltimore, Maryland, and we love things like crabs and Old Bay and ravens and orioles and natty boh and Edgar Allan Poe. So Bradley and I are at the International Edgar Allan Poe Festival today, celebrating the 169th death anniversary of Edgar Allan Poe. So we're going to do a little walking around, maybe learn some fun facts or find some cool items, and then I'm going to soap today. And we're going to be making an Edgar Allan Poe inspired soap. So let's get started. First part, I'm just going to combine the oils with my lye water solution as usual, and then we're going to give that a whirl with kitchen vibrator. Oh my goodness, that does not smell good. It's slowly making its way in here. That polyurethane.
Oh really?
It's like, can we open a window, but it's kind of too cold.
Yeah, sorry, I shut the windows.
Alright, so Bradley's in the other room putting a coat of polyurethane on the floor, and it's ripe.
On your new soap room.
Don't tell them that, it's a surprise.
Okay.
Eventually I'll talk all about it, but not in this video.
Okay.
But I appreciate it, and I don't know what smells worse. If it was the, the stain, or if it was the polyurethane. They both smell really bad. Like, I might have a headache.
Oh no.
Alright, so I'm going to split this up into two colors. In one of them, I am going to do some orchid purple mica from Nurtures. And then the other one, I'm going to add some activated charcoal. So we're doing a purple and black soap today. I don't know why I chose these colors, but for some reason when I imagined the soap, I thought purple and black were perfect for Edgar Allan Poe. Did you trap the cats downstairs?
Oh, I'm sorry. I did trap the cats downstairs. Sorry, honey.
There you go. Alright, so on this big one, I'm going to do the purple. And in the little one, I'm going to do the black. And I guess another reason why I chose these colors, the Baltimore Ravens colors are purple and black, and I think that has to do with Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know. I'm not a football fan.
It does.
Okay. Like, isn't our mascot a raven and its name's Poe?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's some more sense into this. And also, the fragrance that I'm using in this one today, I don't know what that is. It's called Arizona Berry, and this was a fragrance I got inside of a Wholesale Supplies Plus mystery grab bag. I had no idea what Arizona Berry is, but it's a very tart and fruity smell. But when I looked it up, it said it was called chokeberry, and I thought that just lent to the whole feel of the soap. So let me give these a mix. I'll add my fragrances, and then we'll start pouring. Okay, and then I'm just going to pour in my fragrance into this, thinking in the pot swirl method for this soap. So let's pour in the fragrance and mix that up. Alright, so I'm going to in the pot swirl this black and purple, and then I wanted to attempt that mica drizzle, mica drop swirl? I don't even know. Mica pour. I'm going to do a mica drizzle pour into the soap. I've tried it before. I think my batter was a little too thick. Vanessa over at Moonfern Studios did post a little video recently with some tips and tricks to how she's gotten hers to work. So now that I have something a little more liquefied to work with here, I am going to put a little bit of mica into the soap, some gold mica, because again, back with those ravens colors. So I've got some Sahara Gold mica in here with some oil. And I'm gonna pour about half of this batter in. And then I'm going to add the mica oil. And cross my fingers, so I'm gonna pour this from up high. Like that. And then I'll pour in the rest of my batter. Kind of right on top of that color. Ooh, this is going to be so pretty. Look at those colors. Alright, so let me scrape this out. I'm going to get my top together, which is also going to be a purple. As you can see, it's on the spatula. Get that in a bag. And this probably needs to harden up a little bit more before I even ice it anyway. And then I've got some facts on Edgar Allan Poe. I'm going to educate you guys on who he is since I'm making this soap. Alright, so I'm going to start icing this, but I wanted to show you some of the embeds that I'm going to put on top. I've got some skulls and I've got some hearts. The skulls do glow in the dark. The hearts reminded me of one of his poems or short stories. The tale of the... I don't know why it's such like a mouthful to say, but the telltale heart. And then I have these ravens that I'm going to put on after I cut it. So those are the biggest inspiration for this soap. But let's get the icing on here. I am using a large round tip for this guy. It is a... I should have these. I'll leave the link for it down below. I should have these memorized by now, but I don't. And my icing is really thick. And I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying something different here. Anyway, brief little history lesson on Edgar Allan Poe. He was born in Massachusetts and he was an American writer. He did a lot of macabre and horror ghost stories, detective mysteries, thriller type stories, lots of short stories and poetry. His mom died when he was 3 and his dad left the family and soon died. So he was fostered. He was never really adopted. He was fostered. And he started writing poetry at a young age, like in his teen years. What teen is writing poetry nowadays? And he started gambling and a lot of his stories weren't really taking off. So he was a poor writer, which back in those days, most were. Let's see what we can do with the top of this. He was poor until his breakthrough of his short story, The Raven, which this soap is very highly inspired by. That looks good. Alright, let me refill my icing bag here. Alright, so he wrote a lot of poetry, a lot of stories, a lot of short stories like The Black Cat, The Telltale Heart, Annabelle Lee, or some of his famous ones that you might have heard of. Camlin icing. It's really thickened on me. And he moved around a lot up and down the northeast coast from New York to Virginia until his demise in Baltimore. I don't know really what I'm going for on this, but I kind of like it. He moved, it was his aunt in the Poe house, which is now called, in Baltimore. And he married his cousin. And not only was that dad, he was in his 20s, probably like 24 or 26, and his cousin was 13, so wouldn't have happened nowadays, I gotta say. But he did, and he loved her. Her name was Virginia. I'm trying to think what to do with the rest of this batter here. Let's just do a little squiggly, like so. Don't do that. And then she ended up dying at the age of 24 from tuberculosis, which was also a common thing back then. And he died at 40. See what I can do with this extra icing here. Maybe we'll put it on the side here. And I'll stick the skull on it. I'm really liking this purple. Alright, that looks good. When he died, he was found on the streets of Baltimore by a stranger. And I think I'm gonna have to... I don't know. I might run into trouble if I lay these flat. So they're gonna have to go in on the side. Like that. Yeah, that'll do. And he was in a state of delirium, so no one knows how he died. And medical research wasn't as advanced as it is now to figure out what the cause of death was, and there was a lot of speculation it was from alcohol or opium use or some kind of STD. But he did die a mystery. Of course he would, you know, the type of person he was. It only makes sense that's how he would die. And he was even buried in Baltimore. So you can go visit the Poe house, or you can go visit his grave in Baltimore. And I think I left out an embed somewhere. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, maybe not. I just made an extra one. And then I'm going to put the hearts on the other side. Alright, so on this side we'll do the hearts. Like that. So I really hope they do this Poe Festival again next year, since it was the first Poe Festival. It could have had a little more potential, but you know, for starting off, I'm sure if they continued the tradition, it would grow, and I would love to go to it again. Alright, we're gonna let this sit for 24 hours, and then I'll come back to cut it, and then we'll add our little ravens on there. I'm gonna start by cutting the end off of this guy, I think. And I'm really hesitant about what's inside of this because something just doesn't sound right or seem right to me on this.
It's like squidgy.
Yeah.
Very squishy.
Something's not right. But my goodness, I don't know what's going on with it.
Cut the thing.
It's still really soft.
Wow, that's cool.
I think it'll be fine once it sits.
Yeah.
Alright. It just does not want to cooperate.
Oh no.
Alright.
There we go.
Let's give this a try and see what the inside looks
Even
like.
the sound it makes.
Yeah, it's still pretty.
I love
the
it.
mica swirls.
Yeah, that mica swirl is cool. It's very Halloween. Spooky.
Very soft. I don't know if maybe I forgot to put the sodium lactate in it. Maybe.
Well, I'll know when I'm editing the video.
No, I don't add the sodium lactate to the lye solution in the video. I usually
It's already
everything's pre-measured and ready to go.
Yeah.
So I won't know. I
Hmm.
don't know. Let's see. I'll just let it sit and cross my fingers. So I'm a little disappointed also the fact that we didn't get to go to the Poe house.
I know.
Like, stop eating the broom smudge. What is with cats eating broom bristles?
They're tasty.
What is,
They're made with catnip.
look at it. Alright.
Yeah, we didn't get to go inside the Poe house. It was for tour only.
Well, the tickets sold out. That was the one thing, which was really dumb. I feel like if you're gonna have a festival like that, you should have access to the Poe House, because like that's the reason for the location and everything. And we didn't get to go to the Poe House in Pennsylvania when we went to Philly either. There's one in Philly. I think there's one in New York too, because it wasn't open on Thursdays. That's when we went. It was only open Friday through Monday.
Right.
So we missed out on that one too.
This man had a lot of houses. Oh my gosh.
He moved around a lot.
He moved around a lot.
I had a little brief history in the video.
Mr. Poe.
Alright. Hopefully the soap gets a little harder as it sits. It's a little weird.
I like it.
I do too. I really like the swirls, and the mica drop swirl actually worked out in it this time and didn't make a mess everywhere. So.
Very spooky, like a mirage or something.
I also have to end up putting the little ravens on them as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll probably do that once they sit a little bit. I'll take some melt and pour and attach them. So I'll bring you guys back for that once this sits. Cool.
Cool.
I just cut one more. I think we get the idea. Ready. Love those colors. These glow in the dark.
Oh, nice.
Alright. I like it.
Alright.
I'm gonna get some melt and pour, and I'm gonna put my little ravens on here and just stick them on like the front of these. I have a joke, Bradley. You want to hear it?
I'm scared. Go ahead. Yeah.
What did they yell at Edgar Allan Poe before he nearly walked into a tree?
I have no idea.
It's super corny. I think the answer's even in the joke.
I don't get it.
It's poetry. What did they yell at Edgar Allan Poe when he nearly walked into a tree? Poetry. You don't find it funny?
I find it horrible, actually.
Hilarious.
The Kate joke.
It is.
That's definitely... Where did you get that? Is that from Kate?
No, it wasn't. I saw it and I thought she had to post that. And it wasn't her.
She missed out.
She did.
I don't know how that one slipped through.
Alright, I gotta show you guys these really cute pins that I bought from, I don't even know how to say, Ashiavoya enamel pins. It was one of the vendors when we were there, and that is the labyrinth pin, and I absolutely have to have that. I don't even know where to put this thing, maybe on a jacket, but then again I'm afraid to lose it at the same time. And then I've got this one as well. It is the unicorn. Isn't that adorable? I don't know why like pins, enamel pins are so in right now, but they are. And so therefore I of course have a collection of them going and know where to stick them. Anyway, you can find her on Instagram. She makes some really cool masks as well.
Oh yeah, the masks were really cool.
Yeah, they're like skulls and animal skulls and fake. They're fake, of course. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section down below. And until next time, I hope you have a very nice day, and I'll smell you later.